All right, so this video is all about the weather here in the city of Temecula, California, and what it's like to really live here all year long. We're going to talk about how hot it gets during the summer, how cold it gets during the winter, how much rain we get, and what it's really like to live here throughout the year. So let's go ahead and get into it. Hey guys, hey again, my name is Justin Short. I'm a realtor and team leader with the Short Real Estate team here in Temecula, California, here at Keller Williams. And this video is all about the weather here in the city of Temecula. So I know a lot of you guys are relocating here from other areas, some of you from other parts of California, and a lot of you from other parts of the country. So all types of different states. So hopefully this is some good information and hopefully gives you some good information on what it's like to actually live here in the city of Temecula. But before I get into all the information, if you're liking videos like this, do me a favor, please hit like, please hit subscribe. Obviously it helps me, helps my channel as we continue to grow it. We have new videos that we put out each and every week. And then if you guys have any real estate questions, of course, I'd love to hear from you. So you can feel free to reach out. You can call, you can text, you can email me. That's my personal cell phone number. It's either down below the video or at the end of the video. So happy to answer any questions you may have or point you in the right direction, give you some general info. Or, of course, myself and my team would love to help you out with your home search if that's something that we are able to do. Of course, we'll be happy to help. So let's get into all the information. Again, we're going to talk about weather here in the city of Temecula. And so, again, this is a question that I get from people, because they are relocating here, what it's really like, what it's like on a daily basis, how hot is it, how much rain we get, etc. So, so the first thing I'm going to start with is that we get very, very little rain. I think if you're familiar at all with Temecula, you're probably aware, we're here in Southern California. We are a little bit north of San Diego, a little bit southeast from Orange County, and more southeast from LA County. So we are here, not quite near the coast. We're probably about 45 minutes an hour away from the coast, driving time. But because we're in Southern California, we do get very little rain. I think most people kind of think of sunny Southern California. We only get about 14 inches per year. The stats that I showed about 20 to 24 days of a year on average that we actually get rainfall. So only about 14 inches, so which is not very much. Actually, when you live here, every time it does rain, everyone's always kind of thankful just because everything can get so dry and brittle. Anything that brings rain and water, we know it's good for the area, good for the environment, good to prevent fires, and it's just good to actually have some moisture. So on the flip side, this is a really hot area, so it is especially summertime here, it is super hot here in Temecula, 2 to 3 months a year. Statistically, the months of August and September are the hottest temperatures. So the average is right about 91 degrees is what they say the average is for those 2 months. And that gives us a total, it's 276 days of sun per year, sunny days. So there's a lot of sun throughout the year. Those tend to be the two hottest days, two hottest months. But even with that said, honestly, as someone that lives here, I felt like the average temperature that they show seems on the low end, because a summer day is very common. Yes, right about 90, 92 degrees. That's very, very common, but we get a ton of heat waves. So we do get regular heat waves. So maybe a ton isn't the right word, but we do get regular heat waves. So when we get heat waves, we definitely will get over 100 degrees, up to 102, 103, 104. Honestly, this last year we had a couple days that were over 107, up to 109, and I mean those were super, super miserable. Those are very, very rare. So as opposed to living out in like the desert or somewhere like Arizona where you get those hot days all the time. Honestly, I can't remember. It's been years since we've got temperatures that hot, but over 100 is definitely something that happens. I'd say per year we probably have 10 to 15 days or so of over 100-degree weather. So it's not like it's something that's every day, but it definitely happens. You're going to see some heat waves, throughout the summer, and just something to to be prepared for. So then the next thing that I wanted to mention is, yes, it gets hot here, during the summer, we have a lot of sun, but one of the things that's really, really nice about living here in Temecula as opposed to other areas that get pretty hot is even on a hot day where it gets super warm, over 100 degrees, in the evening we do get a really, really nice breeze that makes the temperature cool down quite a bit and makes the area a lot more comfortable. So for example, we might get a heat wave, it's up to 100 degrees, it's hot, you don't really want to be outside in the sun too much, and then by about 4 o'clock we get a breeze that comes, they say, it comes from the ocean, so it adds bird flies. We're not that far from the actual coast, so it comes up over the mountain range, blows into town, kind of cools off a lot of that hot weather, and even though at 2 o'clock it was 100 degrees, by 5 o'clock it can definitely be 80 degrees outside, and by 6:30 it can be down to 70, 74, 75 degrees. So then at that point, it's super comfortable, it's really nice outside, and that is a really nice thing as opposed to some of those more desert areas like Palm Springs or again Arizona, where it's super hot during the day and it cools down to like 99, right? And it's still just miserable out. So we don't have that, or like Vegas is like that as well. So we do get that really nice breeze that helps cool things down. Another thing I wanted to mention is, although it is hot, it is a really, really dry heat. So we have very little humidity. So to me, it's a lot more comfortable to be in the dry heat as opposed to humidity. I know anytime it's humid, it makes it so much worse. So that makes it a lot more palatable to deal with the heat waves there. So next thing that I wanted to mention is because of how much sun we get, how much little rain, we do have a long period of sunny days. I mentioned 276 sunny days throughout the year. So we have summer is kind of your typical hottest times. However, we are going to stay warm and keep warm weather through about Thanksgiving. So it's definitely common. Thanksgiving Thursday, you're sitting down for you're cooking the turkey, and outside it's 91 degrees. So that has happened a handful of times for sure. Maybe much more common for it to be somewhere mid to low 80s, but it is still we have not hit like a true winter at that point. So you're going to get a lot of sun throughout the year. So after you pass through Thanksgiving, you start getting into December, and once December starts, really, our true winter really is going to start. So you're typically going to see the weather cool down and your more cloudy days, etc. So your average temperature during winter is about 67 degrees. So you're going to carry that weather. You're probably going to see that from beginning of December until about March 1st. That's really our true winter. Like I said, there's only a handful of rainy days for a year, but you're gonna get cloudy days and cooler days, things like that. If we have some rain, you might see temperature get down to like the mid 50s or something. That would be like freezing cold here. For Southern California boy, I have like two jackets and a beanie on a day like that. So we're just not used to that cold weather. And then by the time about March 1st hits, then you start seeing things warm back up. So you go from that mid 60s to somewhere in the mid 70s as being your average temperature, and which obviously is super comfortable, and that's going to carry you until mid-May, or I guess, yeah, mid-May to beginning of June, until you start seeing that true summer weather start. So then you start getting that summer heat wave coming, and kind of peaks out in August and September. The other thing that people ask all the time is, in winter, how cold does it get, right? So I talked about during the highs during winter, mid 60s are very common. Anything colder feels like freezing, so it's pretty uncommon. But you do get a winter lows in the evening. You can definitely get down to 50 degrees, 45, super common as a low at night. And even on a super cold, rainstorm or something like that, you might get down to about 32 or so. So we have had a little bit of snow here and there, like once or twice over the last decade or so. So it doesn't happen very often, but it does get cold enough. And if there's some precipitation in the air, you will get it from time to time. So it kind of gives you an idea of how cold it actually gets. So hopefully that's some good information for you guys, good perspective, from someone that's lived here for a while and what it's actually like and kind of what we experience on a yearly basis. So hopefully good information. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. You can call, you can text, you can email, and hopefully I will talk to you soon. Thanks.